On today's video, we're going to do a brief update of how the stump burning process ended up. We're going to get the pulverizer out in the John Deere 755 and do a little dirt work around those stumps so we can get everything all polished up. Then we're going to head out to the YouTube Yacht Road project and do a little bit of prep work for the second round of base rock. Hey everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go over to the YouTube Yacht Road and do a little bit of work and get prepped up for the second round of base rock for the second half of the road. But before we do that, we're up here at the barn. You can see the barn there. We're going to do a little bit of work with some topsoil, but the most important thing that I want to do, we left you on the last video with burning these stumps out. And then we went on a 2-night, 3-day camping trip at Spring Mill State Park and just kind of left them smolder while we were gone. So I want to see how they did and get these dressed up as well. Man, I tell you what, daggone. Got her little hole in the ground. Tell you what, you guys see that? Here's a real fancy stick for a straight line, but that's where the ground was. And that's how much she burnt down, just on her own. No leaf blower, no wood in there. Let's check the other one. She did burn a little hole right here, but there's still this little fella right there left. I don't know though, that might be okay. We're gonna go get some topsoil, get the pulverizer, and see what happens with this. See if we can get these cleaned up and be done with them. Yeah. When the barn was built and all the land where the barn was at was cleared off, we just had everything pushed back in a pile behind it, and that's kind of what we use for topsoil to top dress the area. It's not the best topsoil, but it does grow grass pretty well. You can see though we're getting kind of down to the bare bones of that pile, so there are quite a few sticks and limbs and that kind of thing in it. But in just a minute, you'll see how that pulverizer kind of sorts through that trash and does actually a pretty good job. I actually purchased that pulverizer from Mike. That was before he had his powered pulverizers. I actually purchased that from him several years ago and have been really happy with it. It's a pretty universal tool. I use it for a lot of trail maintenance. I use it to fix the road quite a bit. I don't know, I just do a lot with it. I absolutely love that thing. So we're gonna just put some topsoil over what's left of these stumps. It's kind of a low spot in the yard or field, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier in the video, and as I mentioned in the previous video about burning these stumps, we kind of walked away from them a little too early. We went on a little camping trip and left them behind, and obviously everything kind of went out and they didn't burn down as far as I was hoped. I will say though, I asked for suggestions and tips on how to do it a little bit better next time, and you guys came through with some awesome tips and suggestions. So lots of things for me to try if I ever do this attempt again. And I did save the barrel, so we may try it again in the future sometime and see how the results come out with the new suggestions and tips that everybody left in the comments. So kind of excited about that. But you can see we're getting snagged up on the little pieces of stump that are left. So we're just going to get the axe out and chip off a few sections and then see what we can make out of it.
So pretty happy with the way all that turned out. Blended in pretty nice, considering we had 2 nasty stumps there, and now we can just mow right through there once the grass comes in. Can't complain about that. One thing I will say, if you've got a little gill like that, or a little pulverizer like that, if you on your passes, if you pull all your trash to one side on that last pass, whenever you're done, you just drive over that pile of trash or windrow trash you made, all the roots and sticks and stuff, and pull that right into the woods and be done with it. Of course, we got the bigger stuff up in the bucket. So happy with that. We'll load up the camera equipment. We'll go down and push off some base rock. All right, so we just drove past the entrance of the Youtube Yacht Road and the Youtube Yacht project. But so you know, we came from that direction. There's the tractor. That's the entrance to the Youtube Yacht project, the road that goes back to it. If you're new to the channel or just need a fresh reminder, Youtube Yacht project is a cabin we're going to build on the boundary of the Hoosier National Forest and our property in the shape of a tugboat. Why? I don't know. Why not? It's just kind of fun, and we like doing weird things like that. Now, the whole process of building that road, all the land clearing, the hauling the first half of base rock, culvert installation, all those videos are on this channel, so just scroll through the older videos if you're new to the channel and you've missed those, and kind of get you caught up to speed. But short version is we're getting ready to haul in the second half of base rock for this road project to get back to the building site. Before we do it, there's a few things I want to get taken care of. So that's kind of what we're working on in this video. Project number 1, this is supposed to be a turnaround. We live on a dead-end road, and this is supposed to be the turnaround at the end of the road. Not like a full turnaround, but like a, you know, 3-point turnaround or 27-point turnaround, driver's choice. That is a 4-wheeler / UTV trail that the locals use, so that doesn't really matter. This is the turnaround point. We have a little bit of chert base rock left over. We hauled in last time. We have some concrete from a neighbor who was building a garage, and they had a little bit of concrete left over, so we just kind of dumped that there. Anywho, I'm gonna put the drone in the air. We're gonna get this area cleaned up. You're going on a tripod. We'll see how it turns out.
So here is your obligatory aerial drone before shot to kind of help see the big picture on what's going on. And we're going to hop on the tractor, and when we're done, we'll give you a finish up shot.
All right, there's the Youtube Yacht Road entrance. John Deere 755 workhorse. They called it a tractor, but I think they mislabeled it. We kind of clean that outside edge up, shoulder, if you will. And this is the turnaround area. Of course, we'll put the drone up real quick for an aerial after view, but I think that'll do the job just fine. Again, it's just to get those nosy Sunday drivers that come up here a place to turn around, because I have pulled several cars out of the ATV trail before, so trying to avoid that. There should be plenty of room for somebody to get turned around. If we have time to haul a load here, the YouTube Yacht Road is definitely the priority when we haul base rock. But if we do have the time, I may dump one load, tailgate one load heavy right down that side to build that up just a little bit. But it's not the utmost importance. That's just kind of if we have time thing. So aerial after view, and then on down the road we go to the next spot.
So here's the after shot. Like I mentioned, if I have the time, the priority is definitely getting the YouTube Yacht Road base done first. But if I do have time, I may dump one or two more loads there just to kind of polish it up a little bit nicer. But it'll do the task it needs to in the state it's at there. So we will head on down the road and see what we get into next. Spot here, whenever I was backing down to bring the base rock in for this section of road, the nose, I'd have to cut the wheel and the nose would swing over into this kind of mess here. There's a couple 2 or 3 inch trees there, and they try to hang on to the fender, they try to hang on to the mirrors. I'm just more than anything trying to protect Mike's truck and make it go as mirror breaking free as possible on the next round of chert rock.
That should take care of this spot right here. It didn't take much. You can see we just pushed that tree out of the way, dug a little bit of dirt back. Obviously, we'll build this spot up with some chert base rock now, but that takes care of that problem spot. On to the next one. This is culvert number 2. You can see there's a couple ruts here. It's still a little soft here, but I just kind of want to close them up a little bit, and I want to try to pull this section, get you a shot over here. If the camera records it this time, I just kind of want to pull this section down a little bit so that if it does rain, or when it does rain in the future, it has a better chance of draining off there and not holding water. So this is the next spot.
So the biggest problem with this little section of road is it never dried out enough for me to actually put a decent shape on it. So what we're kind of trying to do here, and I think real life Mike's going to explain this as well, we're just trying to put a little crown on it so next time it rains, instead of just sitting in those ruts, it actually runs off the top of the road.
So the biggest issue with this is it was perfectly level across, and then I left some ruts in it. Those ruts held water, and then, you know, that water parked down in, and then left some pretty good soft spots. But we peeled this shoulder off to give a little bit of crown on this side. We peeled a little bit of that shoulder off to give a little crown on that side, and we tried to raise the middle up just a little bit. It's still obviously pretty soft. I mean, we just, you know, you saw there's a little bit of water in there, so I'm not surprised it's still a little soft, and I fully anticipate putting the base rock here probably twice as thick as I did everywhere else, just to be on the safe side. So I don't have a problem with that. Next thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna take a pulverizer, clean up this shoulder. I say shoulder like it's an interstate, you guys know what I mean. Clean up the side of the road, and then we're gonna head on out to the next part.
So I absolutely love these drone time-lapse shots, but I'm curious how you guys feel about them. Tell me in the comments, do you like the drone time-lapse? Do you not like the drone time-lapse? What can I do to better explain the story whenever we're working on these projects?
All right, so I think that turned out just fine. There's where the road's coming through, or will come through right on up through there, past that culvert onto the third culvert. Keep in mind, this doesn't have to be yard pretty. This just has to be able to regenerate into more woods. That's all this has to be. And I just wanted to get enough pulled down, like we mentioned earlier, to make sure it drains better off that base once we get it in there. So I'm pretty happy with the way this section is. On to the next one. Well, I got a bit of bad news for you guys and gals. I know what you're thinking. We weren't making a trucking video. We weren't watching a trucking video, and that is correct. You were not. Where I just left you was all I had time for that day. I was going to come back the following day, get everything cleaned up and finished up to finish out, well, the project and the video. In the days in between, I came and drove Dirt Perfect's Mac and moved some equipment around. I was in the process of making a video of that as well, which was going to be Sunday's video. Unfortunately, the D4, well, fortunately, the D4 was on the trailer. Unfortunately, the GoPro brand new Hero 7 I had was on top of the dozer. At some point, a magnetic mount fell off on a county road. I have no idea where you guys went. You were up there, now you're not. I do know the road it fell off on, and I've got it narrowed down to about a 4-mile stretch. I drove the road, I walked the road. I'm kind of out of time for today. You will know if I found that camera if there's a video on Sunday. If there's no video on Sunday, then I did not find that camera. You are watching this or recording this on the broken Hero 7. I'm just holding you in my hand. I don't have a mount. I don't have a lens. I don't even know how this is going to look when it all comes edited. But I just felt like you guys should know this is the end of the video. And hopefully, we'll have something for you on Sunday. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Man, struggling to find it today. All right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.